Hi folks, it's Puffin again. Oh my gosh, Disney, you got some splaining to do. I'm wearing my Cara Dune hat again, so you can give me the role of Cara Dune if you want. But I just wanted to rehash the stories, how the stories changed since my last video where I read all top 40, 50 stories or something. The top story since then has become Scream, the Madman. A madman painted this, Edward Munch painted under his Scream. That became the top story since I refreshed. The second story is still the Grateful Dead's Angry Letter response to Warner Brothers, which is kind of a magic template for this whole thing. The third is local break-ins in RVs or break-ins in RV parks or in parking lots here in the local area. So break-ins probably for people living in their cars in these parking lots, and then people breaking into the cars that people are living in. So scary stuff, concerning stuff, COVID-related stuff, because the economy and everybody's fortunes are falling since they screwed the response to the COVID for a year under Trump. Now we've got the fourth story, Cara Dune calls Disney bullies. Now, didn't click that story, but I did find the story about her getting the accidental email that Disney was following the Fire Cara Dune or Fire Gina Carano hashtag. The thing is, Disney wasn't fast enough. Like, I predicted that the stuff that she said and been about is going to come out more, as she continues to be a news story thanks to her right-wing troll army. Dude, it's bad. It's real bad. Like, she's guilty of denying the virus, telling people not to wear masks. Like, she's guilty of killing people. She's part of Trump's genocide. So time to round these people up for real. The fifth story, and this is one reason I wanted to read the news stories, is because I went through these 50 news stories from Google without any mention of what's currently going on, the Senate hearing about the Capitol insurrection, the riots at the Capitol. No mention of it in top 50 stories, even though it's a live hearing going on in the Senate right now. The fifth story actually did include that this time, which is former U.S. Capitol Police Chief to say that the intelligence did not point to a riot. Well, they don't have intelligence then. You're not intelligent if that's the case, because look, we all knew there was a riot coming. I expected more people to be there from the way people were talking about it online, except for the fact that I know that most of those people are Russian trolls. Like, you can play stupid all you want, but the fact that you didn't know shows you're not doing your job, or you're covering for the fact that you're conspiring with these people. Because there was a recent news story about one of the people who's being prosecuted saying that she was hired to be security for Trump and that she was coordinated with the Secret Service, and they're like denying it. We didn't coordinate with these people. But this stuff's going to come out because some of them probably did. Or some of these organizations probably did work with the terrorists, with the rioters. Then just to cover the last stories, some lady got a California driver's license with her mask on. Apparently the first time that's happened, like a mistake or whatever, made the news. Number 6 story. Number 7, level blue for Broomfield. I guess a local area here around Denver is able to open up in the pandemic. Level 8, story 8, joke contestants on American Idol. Story 9 was Kate Hudson's music response, saying it's an important dialogue with the autistic people. They're concerned about how it's presented. Number 10, Monica Ram Team Super. I don't even know what that is. Monica. Anyway, number 11, timeline for return to normal. A return to normal. We need to return to normal. We need to do better than we've ever done before. And since we have to start over again, it's the time to do it. Monica Ram Team Super Ross. I don't know what that is, number 10. Anyway. Monica Rambeau's Super something. I still don't know what it is. 12, the golf story about Michelle Wie. 13, a yellow penguin. That's why I wanted to include all these stories, because 13, there's a yellow penguin that's been discovered. And it looks really cool. It's white and yellow. Then all the rest of the stories were rehashed of what we've seen before, except for a new story in my timeline or my Google feed, whatever. 22, Pat Sajak is in trouble for mocking someone's speech impediment. 27, Gina Carano addresses her friendship with Pedro Pascal. Now, having read the Gina Carano email thing, I'll get to that right now, because just the number 40 story was there's a new Nintendo Switch coming out, actual 3 hours ago, news story, breaking news. Number 49 was also about the Cara Dune cosplayers. So, still in the news, Cara Dune cosplayers. Good job. And I'm going to include myself since I'm wearing this Cara Dune hat, even though she doesn't wear a hat. It's like a cop type hat, obvious Star Wars type hat. So, read the article with Cara Dune, and as I predicted, she would, more stuff about what she said is going to be exposed to more people. So there's going to be more of a fervor against her the longer she makes news headlines. The problem is the nature of the stuff she's been saying this whole time, and the fact that people have been calling her out for it and calling Disney to fire her this whole time. Like, it made the news that she actually got a copy of the email that Disney's saying, we've been following the fire Gina Carano hashtag. But they weren't following it close enough, because like all the stuff she's been saying has been terrible. Like, she's a transphobic, Nazi supporting, modern Nazi, current, previous Nazi supporting. She doesn't realize it yet because she's in their ranks. She thinks she's being critical. She's not. And opposed people wearing masks, mock people for wearing masks, and is therefore guilty of spreading the virus. Like, surely her words influenced some people to feel emboldened not to wear masks and got some people sick and killed some people. Like, you can contact trace that. You can contact trace the thought process and the information wars from these Nazis. And she's one of them and has been one. So Disney, actually, I'm not too impressed. I'll still work for you. I'll still take the job. But you should have fired her before. And especially when there's criticism. I didn't really know about this because I don't pay that much attention to the inner world of Star Wars. But there was criticism from people were mocking John Boyega. I guess homophobic people were mocking one of your stars, and instead of standing by him, you reduced his role, at least according to the fans and critics. And then you've stood by Gina Carano through all this. So, I mean, it's good you're firing her now, and you better stick with that. You better not be trying to turn things around. And it's kind of like what I made a video that you conspired to hire her in order to fire her, in order to trap these people in their comments. But only if we get some trapping done. Only if it becomes time to round these people up. Because they are terrorist supporters. They are guilty of genocide. They're Nazis in our midst. And we need to call them out as such. And one of the last things in that article was saying, she's still going to be around on Twitter. Why? Why hasn't Twitter yanked her yet? Look, I haven't been on Twitter for 8 years. 9 years. They won't even tell me why I'm not on Twitter. It's because my ideas are too good, I'll tell you. They're afraid of them. Because I've seen through this stuff from a long time ago, and they want to make the money off of it and go through the motions or whatever. Speaking of going through the motions, we got this Senate hearing looking into how the Capitol Police failed, or hopefully looking into how they conspired with the Trumpers to allow this to happen. Because the only question I overheard them saying, maybe was laying the groundwork, maybe was drawing the net, maybe was getting them to contradict themselves later, but it didn't seem to be like piercing inquiry into, are you guys really part of this terrorist organization, or have you infiltrated our police forces? Yes. And our ICE entirely. Like, you can cancel all of ICE. Like, you can fire every single ICE agent there is just based on them being in the KKK, because they are. And you don't have to have that agency anymore, literally. Like, it's just an officially stamped wing of the KKK. And our police forces are practically that. Now, if you think you really need police, instead of other people doing another job similar to that, similar to the good parts of that, I mean. But if you think you really need police, you need all new police, okay? So you want to spend some money on police, it's going to be on training, hiring, and you can sell all that junk they have, okay? Like, you can have a, I don't know where you sell it to. You just repurpose it or something, turn it into art. Like, nobody needs all this tear gas and body armor and junk for your police. If your police are in that much danger, they ain't policing right. So, give them some bobby sticks like they do in the UK. But anyway, time to change this thing around. And we're not going back to normal. The timeline is to get to the future. We're not going back to the way things used to be. Okay? And Disney, I'm kind of disappointed that you let this person run off with her Nazi talk all this time. Good thing we're making news about it now. But it's kind of like I suggested in my other video. You kind of conspired with Gina Carano to trap these people, but only if you trap them. But we need to get all these people out. Like, they can all be on welfare. Just make welfare good, so it's nothing to be, afraid of being on. But no, you don't get the pleasure and joy and purpose of work if your work is for a Nazi fascist regime. You can just be at home on welfare. And, everybody should be at home on welfare unless they really have something important to do, like go out and put out a fire or take somebody their groceries or something like that. But, the military is not essential work. These actors, it's like we can all do this. It's good that people are finding safe ways to do some industries and to be actors, but like we're all actors now. We can all be on YouTube. We can do it ourselves. So like get it right. If you control and own this content and these franchises like Star Wars, you better get it right by the most sensitive of the fan base, because it's just like in public with social distancing. You don't encroach on somebody. They might want 15 feet of distance. You give it to them, because it's not up to you. It's up to the more sensitive, more aware, more concerned person, and follow their lead. So Disney, we've got those people now telling you, fire her, and if she's claiming that she got your email and some people went to bat for her, fire them today. We're gonna find out who these bat goers are, and we're gonna get rid of them too. I don't care how big they are in the company. We need to root this evil out. So Disney, I'm talking to you. I'll take their job too. I'll be your next Cara Dune. Hold on, acting. You really think that'll work? Got a bad feeling about this. But whatever. Got a bad feeling about this. You really think that'll work? Anyway, I'll be Cara Dune. You're under arrest. So, but get rid of these executives if they went to bat for her, because they're Nazis, and teach them a lesson. They can get a job at a different. Well, they can go on welfare. Like, it's time. Like, that shouldn't be anything anybody has to be afraid of or ashamed of. Be on welfare, lose your jobs. You supported Nazis. Done. Like, once you've maybe done enough to make up for your support of Nazis, then people can consider giving you a job anywhere again. But you don't get to flip burgers if you're a Nazi. Like, we don't need to be around you. You can be at home. You can play some video games. You can be on social media until you learn the errors of your ways. Don't support these Nazi fascists. It's evil. Like Jesus will tell you. I'll tell you. Anybody will tell you. Okay, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Oh, and Disney. Like, give good people jobs. Get rid of bad people. You're a powerful organization, and we're going to be running you now because we're going to be watching you. Cara Dune was all worried about you. You were watching her. You weren't watching her close enough. We're going to be doing some watching for you to make up for your laxness. So, if you thought you generated a good news story by this or whatever, like, it's going to come back on you.